January 12th, 2017. Where did it go? A regular meeting of the City Council was held in City Council Chamber on Thursday, January 12th, 2017 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on January 9th, 2017 at 10:18 a.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. There are no councilors absent. Everybody's here. Councilor Fiore moves to dispense with the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? All those opposed? Matter carries. If you will please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Gerard.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilor Ryan.
Thank you, Madam President. Point of personal privilege, just wanted to maybe get a moment of silence. Former Ward 6 Councilor Prevey, his mother had passed away. Also, on the end of the year, my wife's best friend, Leanne Keogh, passed away. She was also my first campaign treasurer. She was only 40 years old, and her father died the day before. So they had a double wake and funeral. I just want a moment of silence for all those people that passed away in the last week, 2 weeks.
All right.
Councilor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. Along that same line, I would just like to wish a recovery. I'm not sure what the circumstances are, but there was a horrible pedestrian accident that happened at the corner of Highland and Proctor this evening. I think there was a med flight that was involved, and so I'm hoping for a fast recovery.
We'll send positive thoughts. Okay, will everybody rise, please, for a moment of silence? Thank you.
Thank you.
Public, Councilor Lovely.
Just on a lighter note, maybe a moment of cheer for Madam President's husband, who's in the hospital, and hopefully he'll get well soon. And I know that it's the President's first meeting, and it's very stressful to be your first meeting. To have your husband in the hospital at the same time is doubly stressful. So, hello to Frank. He probably watched it on the review, and we wish him well.
Thank God he's not watching right now. Thank you very much, Councilor. I appreciate it. Okay, any other requests for personal privilege? Okay. Public testimony. We have one individual signed up for public testimony, T.Z. Riley Goggin. Your name and address for the record, please, T.Z.
T.C. Riley Goggin, 9 Wisteria Street. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I stand before you this evening wondering, actually, what type of city we actually live in. I know that we have been talking about a 400th anniversary coming up, and what is this city going to be in 2026? I wonder that myself. I hold in my hand here a letter that came in my tax bill. You probably all homeowners received it. First of all, when you see that tax bill come in, you take a gulp, and then you say, do I open it now, or do I wait till the last week when I really want to take a look at it and I'm going to pay it? That's what I usually do. But this time I decided I'm going to open it now because I want to see how much of an increase that I'm going to have to pay this year. Not only for taxes, but also for the Community Preservation Act. I gulped when I looked at the amount of money that my taxes had increased. I gulped again when I looked at the CPA increase. But then I noticed, in with the taxes, I had this. And I said, they must have been listening to me, because I asked them if they would send me a letter telling me how much money the city of Salem is actually bonded for. They were truly listening. They talk about having hearings, and I think they have hearings, but they don't listen. But they did, until I opened it. Then I realized that it was not the amount of money that we owe. It's what actually is going to happen to some of the property owners. I read this once, I read it twice, And then I turned it over to see what the affidavit actually was all about. And to add insult to injury, they want this returned, but they didn't give me a separate copy that I could keep for myself. They just took for granted that I was going to make a copy. Well, I probably will, if I return this. Because actually, folks, I don't know how many of you really read it very carefully, but I really and truly feel as if this is an invasion into some of my personal private life. I really think that the envision for 2026, unless we're very careful, it could be martial law, it could be a police city, I'm not quite sure anymore. But in here, under perjury, under fines, I feel as if our property owners are being turned into almost criminals. I feel as if we need direction to do anything and everything. Right now, I look and I say there's probably 2 or 3 groups of people. People out there that are the lambs, that had probably already signed this and returned it. And then you have the other ones who will say, well, I'll spend some time and think about it, but they will return it. And then you're going to have the other group of people who have really read this, or people who have really talked about it. Now I'm here in front of you, the Council of 2017. This goes back to 1996 when an ordinance was passed. I don't remember what I had for breakfast in 1996. I believe our mayor was Mayor Harrington. I believe that's what it was. But the ordinances and the other things in here, I didn't realize that we were partnering with other innovative programs on how to run our city or our town. I thought the government was being run here in this chamber by an administrative mayor and by you, the council. I hope you're listening, people. And I hope you do something about this. Thank you.
Thank you. Hearings.
Madam,
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor McCarthy.
thank you, Madam President. Can we take out of order appointments only because we have a couple of public hearings, and I know there's a bunch of people in the room that are here
sure.
to get appointed, so that way, if they want to stick around and observe the public hearings, they're more than welcome to, but anyone who doesn't want to stick around it may take 5 minutes for these hearings, or it could take longer, I'm not really sure, but
Yep.
since I know there's a few of them that were carried over from the last meeting, so if we could take out of order and skip to page 5.
Okay, on Councilor McCarthy's motion to move out of order to page 5, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, let's go to 5. Appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of Colonel Megan Leclerc, Esquire, 10 Orchard Street, to the Salem Harbor Port Authority for a 3-year term to expire January 12, 2020.
Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be held under the rules.
Councilor Gerard moves that this be held under the rules. Discussion?
No.
No discussion, okay. Everybody in favor? All opposed? Matter carries. More appointments and reappointments.
Held from the last meeting, the mayor's appointment of Janine Liberty, 6 Maple Ave, to serve as a member of the Public Art Commission for a term to expire December 8, 2018.
Councilor Dibble.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I move that vote by confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor Dibble moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair. I think that Ms. Liberty will bring a certain set of skills to the board that would be different than what other members of the board are bringing. And I welcome her to volunteer within the City of Salem on this board.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, on Councilor Dibble's motion for confirmation of this appointment by roll call vote, all those in favor? Oh, sorry. Madam Clerk, will you please read the roll?
Counselor Terrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Lovely?
Yes.
Counselor Gerard?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Famico?
Yes.
Counselor Epley?
Yes.
Counselor Dibble?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes. On the matter of the appointment of Janine Liberty to serve as a member of the Public Art Commission. We have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The appointment is confirmed. Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules to allow Ms. Liberty to speak, should she so choose.
Councilor Dibble moves suspension of the rules. Any objection? Seeing none? Ms. Liberty?
Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much, all of you. So I'm Janine Liberty. I'm a lifelong Salem resident. I've been lucky enough to grow up here. I started in North Salem and recently moved with my husband to South Salem, so that was our big move. I've been really fortunate to live in Salem during its renaissance, when it's become a hub not only of tourism and culture, but also arts and education and, culture across the board with food and museum life and coffee houses and bars and, people coming together. It's a true sense of community here. And what I'm really most excited about with this is to become a part of that community and not just a resident here. So I really do thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, more appointments and reappointments.
Held from the last meeting, the mayor's appointment of Chrissy Kobiel-Janek, 22 Warren Street, to serve as a member of the Renewable Energy Task Force for a term to expire on December 8th, 2019.
Councilor Famiko.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor Famiko moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Any discussion?
Yeah, so I'm actually glad that Chrissy chose Salem. She's not originally from here, but she's bringing us a wealth of information for this. For this particular role, she has a background in impacts of nitrogen pollution on wetland ecosystems and has also looked at environmental impact assessments. With this particular role, if you're looking at renewable energy, you're also looking at the impacts of other things in the environment and your ecosystem around you. So not only does Chrissy have the background in environmental science, but she also has the MBA know-how of knowing how the numbers and the facts and the figures and the marketing go into that. So we have our science mixed with our math and our business, which is not always seen, so it's great to have her on board, and I'm glad that she's able to give us her time now for this. She'd been studying quite a lot recently, 4 a.m. morning, so to see her being able to give us some of her evening time now, I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Famiko's motion for confirmation by roll call vote, Madam Clerk?
Councilor Turiel?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Ryan?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Lovely?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Famiko?
Yes.
Councilor Epley?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes. Thank you. On the matter of the appointment of Ms. Kobianchik, I apologize, to be appointed as a member of the Renewable Energy Task Force. 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The appointment is confirmed.
Madam President, could I ask for a suspension of the rules to allow Chrissy, I'm not going to try her last name, to address the council if she chooses to do so?
Seeing no objection?
Well, she tells us her last name.
Yeah.
I'm Chrissy Kobiel-Janek.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity to work on the Renewable Energy Task Force. I'm really excited to get back into my environmental studies background and hope to make Salem a more sustainable city. Thank you again.
Thank you. Further appointments and reappointments.
Held from the last meeting, the mayor's appointment of Christine Madore to 20 Federal Street to serve as a member of the Salem Redevelopment Authority for a term to expire on December 8th, 2021.
Councilor Famiko.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Thank you. Councilor Famiko moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Yes. So Christine will be taking over for Matt Smith, who we now have as our traffic and parking director. When he went into that role, he had to move out of this role. But I'm very thankful we now have a traffic and parking director. So Christine works for the Mass Area Planning Council, and she has background in everything from economic development, transportation, land use, open space, and transportation. And with the Redevelopment Authority, we're lucky because she actually lives smack dab right in the middle of the downtown as well. So when she's giving us these perspectives, she's giving it from not only someone who lives there, but someone else who has studied it. Christine also has a background in analyzing the data to see trends that are coming, from everything from census data to labor statistics, workforce, real estate, and the market. So when you're making decisions, you're looking at what the numbers are showing us and how that determines in the different decisions that they're making. I recently actually met Christine in an evening, and out and about, we were just talking about the little details as far as even the signage you have and what you see around you, especially for the redevelopment authority, can even be as little as what a street side looks like and what the little details are for that. So I'm really glad that she gets the big picture, but also understands the little details that come along with it. So I'm enthusiastic that she is going to be joining us.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other discussion? Councilor Fury.
Madam President, I have the pleasure of being the Salem Renewal Authority City Council Representative liaison. Last night's meeting, Christine was there, and she was asking the right questions and doing the in-depth. There was two major issues before us last night. Was the Diamond Development, the Salem District Court, and urban renewal on the Valley Plaza, our new hotel complex. So you were asking the questions, you were right there, and looking forward to being with you. It's an exciting board to serve on. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none. On Councilor Famico's motion to confirm this appointment by roll call vote, Madam City Clerk?
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Lovely?
Yes.
Counselor Gerard?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Famico?
Yes.
Counselor Epley?
Yes.
Counselor Dibble?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes. Thank you. On the matter of the appointment of Christine Madore to serve as a member of the SRA, term to expire on December 8th, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The appointment is confirmed. Councilor Famico.
Move for a suspension of the rules to allow Christine to address the council if she chooses to do so.
Councilor Famico moves to suspend the rules. Any objections? Seeing none. Ms. Madore.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christine Madore, and thank you, Councilor Famico, for that wonderful introduction. I hope to live up to your standards. I've been a resident of the North Shore for many years and only just last year moved to Salem. And I've used my skills as a planner in my professional life, and I hope to do the same to serve Salem and your community. Thank you very much. I'm very excited.
Thank you. Further appointments and reappointments.
Held from the last meeting, the mayor's appointment of Samuel Home and Colin McLean to serve as a member of the Salem Youth Commission for a term to expire on May 12, 2017.
Councilor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation of both gentlemen by roll call vote.
Councilor Epley moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Discussion?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Samuel Huang is a resident of Ward 4, and Colin McLean is a resident of Ward 2, and I'm doing this hopefully on behalf of my colleague from Ward 2 in this regard. So in terms of their individual background, Mr. Huang is a ninth grade student at the Waring School. He earned the John J. McGlynn Senior Elementary Achievement Award for his previous school, and brought the same academic achievement to his work at the Saltonstall School when he attended that school up till last year. He's a pianist and a participant in his school drama program. Mr. Huang is considering a career in public service for his future. In addition, Mr. McLean is a junior at the Salem Academy Charter School, where he's a member of the Student Government Association and a writer for the school magazine. He has participated in the Salem Public Library's Teen Advisory Council and is a member of the Salem Academy Charter School's Spanish Honors Club. Colin is an honor roll student and was valedictorian of his 8th grade class. Two very qualified gentlemen to join the Salem Youth Commission. I just want to say that I love doing any appointments, but I really love doing Salem Youth Commission appointments because you guys need to replace us. No, seriously, now. we really value your involvement. I hope that you will stay involved in politics after your service with the Youth Commission. But it's just demonstrative of both of your interests in public service, and it's greatly appreciated. So with that, that's all my discussion, and I'll ask them to come up to speak after we vote on them, but I hope that my colleagues will vote unanimously.
Okay. Further discussion. Councilor Famico.
Thank you for that, Councilor. I'd like to also add with Colin from Ward 2. I actually met him a couple years ago. In addition to all of this, he's also been very active in his neighborhood association. When you go to things for the Chestnut Street Associates, a lot of the older residents are there, and then Colin's been right there with them, whether it's the neighborhood events or events in their neighborhood. He's been there with his parents and actively discussing what's going on in the city and what's going on in his neighborhood. So it's not just this, and even with this, even before tonight, when he's getting sworn in, I've seen them that they were both at an event recently with the Youth Commission with getting some bags out to folks in the holiday season. So I'm glad to see that. Before tonight, I didn't know all of everything else that Colin's been up to, but with the two of you guys, it's very impressive. So thanks for giving us more of your time.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, on Councilor Epley's motion for confirmation of these two fine young men by roll call vote, Madam City Clerk?
Councilor Terrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Ryan?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Lovely?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fury?
Yes.
Councilor Famico?
Yes.
Councilor Epley?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes. Thank you. On the matter of the appointments of Samuel Hung and Colin McLean to the Salem Youth Commission, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The confirmations, the appointments are confirmed. Councilor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules to allow both Mr. Huang and Mr. McLean to speak to the body if they so choose.
Thank you. Any objections? Seeing none. Gentlemen?
Good evening. I'm Colin McLean, and I would just like to say that I'm so honored that this commission exists, and I'm honored that you have given me this opportunity to serve the city to whatever capacity I can. So thank you.
I know how everyone wants to go home tonight, so I'll quickly say thank you for everything, the works you do, and your smiles. Thank you so much.
McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that we return to the regular portion of the meeting on page 3.
Thank you. Councilor McCarthy moves that we go back to the regular order of page 3. All those in favor? Opposed? Let's go back to page 3. Hearings.
Ordered that Verizon and Mass Electric to install a jointly owned pole at number 6 Lovett Street.
We have somebody from Verizon to speak?
Thank you, Madam President.
You could state your name and address, please.
For the record, my name's Everett Bryan. I'm a right-of-way engineer with Engineering and Data Solutions, representing Verizon New England at 459 Main Street in Saugus. Our petition this evening is to place one jointly owned pole on the northeasterly side of Lovett Street and to replace an existing tree guy. And this is at the request of the property owner at number 6 Lovett Street, who wants to take the tree down. So we'll need to place a a stub pole on the opposite side of the street to replace that tree guy.
Okay. Councilors have any questions? Councilor Gerard?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to state that I spoke with the homeowner about this, and I'm very much in favor of this. The issue with this is that the homeowner on her property, she has a Norway maple that's 75 years old, and Norway maples are only supposed to last 50 years, and so it's starting to lose its branches, and she's afraid that it's going to cause further damage. But with this guy wire that's coming to the tree, she can't take it down, and so Verizon has already marked out where they're going to put the pole that's on the corner of her property, and she's in agreement with this. She is fine with this. She wants this to get done now. So I'm in strong support of this.
Okay, thank you. Any other councilors? Any comments or discussion? Anybody else in the chamber want to speak in favor of this? Anybody opposed? Okay. Counselor Gerard?
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the hearing be closed.
Thank you. Counselor Gerard moves that the hearing be closed. All those in favor? Opposed? The hearing's closed. Counselor Gerard?
Thank you, Madam President. I also move that this be granted.
Okay, on Counselor Gerard's motion that this be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? The matter is granted.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you very much. I'll be very happy to get this. Okay, all right, we did appointments, right? Communications from the mayor, did I miss something here? We're going to...
Another hearing on page 4.
Oh, did I miss a hearing? Oh, we don't want to miss that hearing. Okay, further hearings. I apologize.
We have a request from Footprint Power to amend an inflammable license to decrease combustible liquids from 84,235 gallons to 66,675 gallons, and to increase the flammable gases to 53,600 standard cubic feet to 65,000 standard cubic feet to be kept stored for the property located at 24 Fort Avenue, Salem.
Thank you. And we have folks from Footprint here who would like to speak and give us a little information.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Scott Silverstein from Footprint Power, 24 Fort Avenue here in Salem. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this. Before I get to the substance of the motion before you, with your indulgence, Madam President, I'd just like to take the opportunity while I'm here to again thank the residents of Salem, all of the arms of the city government, this council, the mayor's office, the fire department, and the police department for their support, their patience, their understanding as we've been going through this construction process. I know it's difficult on everybody, most difficult obviously on our closest neighbors on Derby Street and Ford Avenue and Webb Street and the cross streets. I want to assure the council again that we're doing everything we can to minimize disruptions. Like I told you probably 3 years ago now, the only thing I can guarantee is that we will not succeed 100% of the time. I think I've been true to my word on that, despite our best efforts. But we have tried to deal with issues as quickly as they come up. And I know they come up quickly and often, and I apologize in particular to Councilor McCarthy's family for the number of family meals that I'm sure he's been called away from to field calls. But I appreciate you communicating issues to us before they become significant problems. We've got a lot of folks on site, and even though 99% of them do the right thing every day, there's always 1% that thinks they're smarter than the average bear and can get around the system. That means that there are 10 folks a day parking in the wrong place or going down the wrong street, and that's 10 too many. Because if it's your house that they're parked in front of, it doesn't matter that the other 99% are doing it right. So I really appreciate the cooperation and patience and understanding, and particularly your forbearance in helping us, Councilor McCarthy, communicate issues to us from your constituents so that we can do our best to address them. So thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to express that. Tonight's application is, some of you may recall, I was here a couple of years ago to amend the previous license. This plant, this facility has held a license since 1950 for inflammables, both gases, liquids. We had a much larger storage of liquids, obviously, when we had oil on site. We had some 20 million gallons of combustible liquids. I'm happy to report that that is a much smaller number today. When we amended the license as the old plant was retiring, we had our best projections of gases and liquids going forward that the new plant would use based on what the vendors were telling us at the time. And now, as we approach commercial operation, this is really kind of a true-up amendment to reduce one and increase the other to get the volumes to what they're actually going to be based on the as-built equipment versus what we had during the design phase. So they're relatively small changes, lowering one and increasing the other just to account for what the actuals are going to be. I'm here this evening with several folks from the plant, many familiar faces, I'm sure. For those of you who don't know, Lou Arick is going to be the plant manager for the new plant. Lou is a newcomer to the facility, having only been here for, I think, 27 some odd years at the facility, but, one of these days he'll get senior status. But we're very pleased that Lou is staying with us and is going to manage the new plant. So Lou and his team can answer any of the any technical questions that anybody may have. I also want to point out that demolition on the site is done. We've got a little bit more cleanup to do on that, but the demolition is done and remediation is done on the site as well, and we've achieved a permanent solution under the Massachusetts contingency plan. So I wanted to update you on that as well.
Excellent, thank you. So with that, thank you, sir. Councilors have any questions, any discussion? No? I'd like to, if I may, ask Chief Cody if he would, just to give us your comments on the project? Not to put you on the spot.
Dave Cody, Fire Chief here in Salem. We were presented with this, we reviewed it, have no problem with the quantities that they're going to store. They're all laid out in a map, and they're all just normal quantities for business.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Anybody else like to speak in favor of this?
Take it right across the street from the plant.
No? Oh, Councilor Fiore.
Madam President, I spent the whole month in China, Scott, and before the Olympics, at the last Olympics that took place in China. There'll be a new Olympics in a couple of years in Beijing for the Winter Olympics. And wherever I went in China, they would say the national bird of China is the building crane, with all the going on in China. Salem can take pride. We have a huge endeavor in Salem between the PBS Museum footprint, the new hotel at the Valley Plaza, Diamond Construction, the District Court. It's an exciting time to be in Salem. I love going down to Winter Island personally, just to see the view of it. I'm like a little kid when I go down to Winter Island looking at the last 3 years of the buildup of your complex there. It's very exciting. Thank you very, very much for all the work behind the scenes, and we're indebted to our footprint for investing in Salem. Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you for your kind words, and I agree. I sat in a meeting today and watched the equipment working, and I'm always mesmerized by it, but I will be even more mesmerized when the cranes are gone, as I'm sure our neighbors will be. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else care to speak in favor? Anybody opposed? Councilor McCarthy?
Thank you, Madam President. Briefly, I just want to say, I want to thank the chief for coming tonight. The chief, I spoke to the chief 2 weeks ago about this matter, and as he just stated, he has no problems with it. And as you look at, if anyone flips through the list of what's actually on the list, what they're talking about is, as was stated, is day-to-day operational stuff. It lists the mineral oil in every transformer in the place, and it's very detailed, and it's more of a record so that, God forbid, anything ever did happen, that the the fire department would have to know what was there, what they're dealing with in that sense of thing. But on a side note, I just want to also thank Scott, for his kind words. He didn't have to do that. It's part of every single one of us gets elected to this job, and knowing that there's going to be something that goes on. I didn't realize it was going to be a big power plant. Yeah,
I didn't tell you because you wouldn't have run, Councilor.
Yeah, exactly. But, oh, look, I found a phone, and they're finally calling it back. Someone's going to have to deal with this.
I figured that was someone calling on cue, too.
It's the lost phone from the chamber. Yeah, someone lost the phone early, and I called them to tell them they lost it, so they're calling back. It's a Gibbs flip phone. I couldn't even figure out how to turn it off. Councilor Fury might not. That being said, I just want to say that Mr. Silverstein has been, ever since the first time I met him, and he's always been very forthright in that what he just stated, they're never going to get 100% right, and I have forwarded the text messages off to Kevin and to Marcia, and that I get at 11 o'clock at night when they're still working for some God knows reason, no one knows why, or at 5:30 in the morning when the person leaves for work and says, oh, by the way, I went to bed, but they were still out till 11:30. I didn't want to text you after 11, which is fine. It's just part of the job, but there are a lot of growing pains, so to speak, going on down around there. We try to address them. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's a conversation that I probably have at least 2 or 3 times a week with Kevin about stuff that I see, and probably at least once a week with the mayor or someone in the mayor's office about, can we reach out to them and find out what's going on? Because, you know, it is, for this project, it's a very big project. There's upwards of 700 individuals working there right now trying to get this thing wrapped up and going, and 700 people coming and going from a site. And as anyone who's been down there knows, it's just Webb Street in and out. And to try to get that and mitigate that and try to make it so it works, they do, they do affect the neighborhoods. We've gotten those complaints. We try to address them. We try to work with the police department to try to get them out there. It's been an ongoing process, and we try to do our best on our side, on the city side, and I know that the footprint in their contractors try to do the same, and it does turn out to be, it's a small percentage of the workers. Because, I had one of the neighbors email me, we should provide them off-site parking. I'm like, we do. And they're like, what do you mean we do? I go, drive down Ford Avenue, down the other end, and there's 50 spots that are filled every day, and they have a shuttle bus that runs from those 50 spots. And they're like, they do? I says, yeah, and we still have people that try to park in the neighborhoods, and it's something we continue to work on, and hopefully, as we tail this down and the numbers start to decrease, and there's more room available on site to keep everybody, that the impacts will be down. But what's in front of us tonight is this flammables license, and I know there was some concern earlier in the week, and I tried to address some of it on social media. When I reviewed it, and I went right to the chief, gave it a phone call, chief had no problems with it. It's basically, as we stated, a shift, and it's all operational stuff. It's nothing that wasn't there previously, and it's decreased in some senses. So just want to assure all the neighbors down there we're not asking for anything. The only real difference was the shift was the diesel fuel, and as it was explained to me, the diesel fuel was to power generators. If they lose gas, somehow they have to maintain the heat and stuff in the building, so they got to run a generator somehow.
An auxiliary generator. And
Yeah.
more importantly, to keep the fire pumps going in case, God forbid, something were to happen.
Right. So, when you think about it, most people, when they lose electricity, they have a gas-powered or propane-powered generator. In this sense, if they lose gas, they need something else. So that's why so I went through that all with the chief, and I had no problems with this, and I want to assure all the neighbors that it's just operational stuff. And at this point, I would move that the hearing be closed.
Thank you. On Councilor McCarthy's motion that the hearing be closed, all those in favor? Opposed? We've closed the hearing. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move that this application be granted.
Thank you. On Councilor McCarthy's motion that this license application be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? You've got your license.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Councilor Famico.
Madam President, could we move to page 15, the petition from Boston Pie Domino's Pizza, please?
I'm sorry.
15,
Page 15.
The Domino's Pizza, the last item on the page.
Sure. Councilor Famico moves that we go to page 15. Move to page 15. All those in favor? Okay, opposed. Let's go to page 15. Petitions, the Domino's Pizza.
We have a petition from Boston Pie, Inc., DBA Domino's Pizza, located at 4 Canal Street, to request that the trial basis for extended hours be amended to operate from 10:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. The extended hours approved for their 6-month trial were to operate until 1 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and until 2 a.m. Friday through Saturday.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted.
Thank you. Councilor Terrio moves that this be granted. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. When we approved this provisionally for a trial period, we approved it with the caveat that we would monitor, and if any situations and if we had any issues of safety or anything of the sort there, that we would keep track of it and deal with it during that initial trial, which we gave them at the time it was 3 months, not 6 months. There's a typo here on that it was supposed to be addressed at the first meeting of 2017.
Okay.
When we granted this in October. So during that time, I've had no complaints of any issues. There have been any public safety situations. I'm not aware, and I asked once. I didn't ask as recently as this past week. I asked a couple of times during it if there had been any uptick in complaints from there. I didn't get any. The police indicated there had been no issues that had come up that they had to deal with. The guardrail that we had asked to be installed was installed within a couple of days of our initial approval. So At this point in time, I'm prepared to go forward and allow this use to continue. I notice they've withdrawn the request to do 2 a.m. on the weekends and would simply go this to 1 a.m. all throughout the week. And like I said, this has not been, this trial has not had any real issues happen, so I am comfortable with going ahead on this.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Turiel. Any other discussion? Hearing none. On Councilor Turiel's motion that this petition be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? Do we want to take a roll call on this, Madam? Are you comfortable? Okay.
Roll call vote.
Okay, all right. Madam Clerk?
Sure.
Was there a second on that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, there were hands.
Okay,
We had
sorry.
hands.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
No.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Lovely?
No.
Counselor Gerard?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Famico?
Yes.
Counselor Epley?
No.
Counselor Dibble?
No.
Counselor Milo?
Yes. Thank you. On the matter of Domino's Pizza petition request to actually reduce the number of hours on the weekends, we have 11 councilors voting. We have 7 in the affirmative, 4 in the negative. The petition is granted. Councilor Turiel.
Move we return to the regular agenda?
Thank you. Councilor Turiel moves that we return to...
Page 7.
Thank you. Communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $35,000 from the Police Department full-time salary account to Police Department training and education account.
Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Gerard moves for suspension of the rules. Any objection? Oh, I'm sorry. Councilor Famico and Councilor Ryan have recused themselves because of the police department. Okay. All right. Councilor Gerard's motion to suspend the rules. Any objection? No? Okay, seeing none. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption.
Councilor Gerard moves for adoption. All those in favor?
No, under discussion.
Oh, sorry, under discussion?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Just want to quickly express my support for this, that this is to allow the police chief to extend tuition and books and even ammunition to up to 7 people to go to the police academy, and where we are striving to be at full complement. And they have also received a grant that will support this. I strongly support and hope everyone else will support the police in this.
Thank you, Councilor Gerard. Any other discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Gerard's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? The matter is adopted. More communications from the mayor.
Appropriation of $10,903.09 from Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback Account to be expended for the fiscal year 2017 contractual buyback listed below. Allison Thibodeau and Ronald Malionic.
Okay, let the record show that Councilor Famico and Councilor Ryan have returned to the chamber. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Gerard moves suspension of the rules. Any objection? Seeing none, Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move that this be adopted.
Councilor Gerard moves for adoption. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a routine matter that, while we are sad that Allison in the electrical department and Ron in DPW, that they have retired, we just want to thank them for their service, and this is part of their contracts. And you know, with Allison, she was always so helpful whenever I called the electrical department. And for Ron, he did so much for the Friends of Green Lawn and really helped get that off the ground. So thank you so much to both of them for their years of service.
Thank you. Any other discussion? On Councilor Gerard's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $7,500 from the capital outlay renovation and repair account to be expended for engineering study for the HVAC system in the library.
Counselor Giroux.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for a suspension of the rules.
Counselor Giroux moves suspension of the rules. Any objection? Seeing none. Counselor Giroux.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move that this be adopted.
Counselor Giroux moves for adoption. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. This is for, to do an engineering study of the HVAC system in our library. As we know, our library is truly a treasure in the city, and they have been having some heating issues and some air conditioning issues, and they would like to use this money to conduct an engineering study that will resolve those HVAC issues.
Thank you. Any other discussion? On Counselor Giroux's motion for adoption, all those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Where are we going now? I lost my place. Page 8? Sorry. Here we go. Okay. Further communications from the mayor. Sorry. Am I on page, where are we?
Page 8.
Counselor Turiel?
Hey, Madam President, just as a note, I would suggest that, given the situation in recusal here, that probably our immediate past A&F chairman can handle this particular issue. Since
I'm sorry.
Since our A&F chairman,
sure,
chairperson
I'm sorry.
recused herself, so.
Counselor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Counselor Epley moves for suspension of the rules. Any objection? Seeing none. Counselor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Thank you. Counselor Epley moves for adoption by roll call vote. Any discussion?
Madam President, this is a bookkeeping exercise effectively regarding $1,400 and being spent between two different fiscal years.
Okay, thank you. On Counselor Epley's motion to move for adoption by roll call vote, Madam Clerk?
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Lovely?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Epley?
Yes.
Counselor Dibble?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
Yes. Thank you. On the matter of allowing the municipality to pay for prior fiscal year invoices in the current fiscal year, we have 8 counselors voting, 3 absent, 8 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The matter carries. Everybody come back in? Okay, let the record show that Counselor Famico, Counselor Gerard, and Counselor Ryan are back. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order, surface off-street parking lot on Bridge Street at 50 St. Peter Street be posted for public parking from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., parking to be limited to 4 hours at a rate of $1 per hour.
Counselor Famico.
Thank you, Madam President. I move this be referred to the Committee on Economic Development, and additionally, that the Traffic and Parking Commission meet and send the Committee on Economic Development Committee a recommendation on this matter.
Okay. Can we put that in writing? Okay. So what's the motion?
I move it be referred to the Committee on Economic Development, Community and Economic Development, and that the Traffic and Parking Commission provide that committee with their recommendation.
Okay. Did you get that? All right. On Counselor Famico's motion to move to committee?
Second.
Oh, okay. Seconded by Counselor Lovely. Any discussion? Counselor Dibble?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm just curious what happens to this parking lot in the meantime while we're setting up the rules and meters and everything else. What's going on there now? What will happen over the next month?
Counselor Famico.
Thank you. So what this parking lot currently went live about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Currently does not have a kiosk. Part of the approval of this funding would be to put one in. They couldn't just do one by Rego Electric due to the underground wiring. I was told that they'd have to do a solar-powered kiosk for that area. So it would take time to order that anyhow. So for the time being, it is free of charge, and it has been. So it would maintain that. If we could get this, the Traffic Commission, as stated earlier, the meeting next Thursday, we could get this on their agenda and potentially back for the meeting the week after that for us.
Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I think this matter is pretty straightforward. I'd like to see those spaces being turned over. So I'd like to see us support it tonight and move forward.
Councilor Famico.
Thank you, Madam President. While I understand that, the dollar rate hour is different than the rest of our municipal lots. So this would be $1 an hour versus if you're downtown, the current rate per hour is 75 cents for the prime parking. If you were to go down near Reds and Central Street and Front Street and whatnot, so I think that we do need to have the commission meet on this so that we're not, first off, creating signage and then having it $1 and then have it come back in 2 weeks if they were going to change it and everything else. And I'd like the Parking and Traffic Commission to be part of that discussion, whereas they'll be looking at the parking plan in the downtown and the areas surrounding it.
Any other councilors wish to discuss? Councilor Sargent.
Just a point of order, because I thought with the establishment of the Parking and Traffic Commission, anything to do with parking and traffic was supposed to go to them first for their recommendation and then come back to us. So,
I believe that the first thing they have to do is establish their rules, and we have to approve those, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think that's done yet. So for now, we have to just kind of basically follow the previous practice. Councilor Famico.
And to tie into that, while they can establish rules, it's still up to the city council to set rates.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? No? Okay, on Councilor Famico's motion to send this matter to committee, all those in, seconded by Councilor Lovely, all those in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, the matter goes to Economic Development. Thank you. Mayor's informational page, none? Motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem in City Council, January 12, 2017, ordered that the monthly financial report dated October 2016 be referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance.
On Councilor Gerard's motion that the...
I'm sorry, and I move that this be adopted.
Oh, sorry. On Councilor Gerard's motion that this be adopted,
I'm sorry, yeah, this says it moved adoption here.
Yep, okay. On Councilor Gerard's motion that this matter be adopted and sent to the Committee on Administration and Finance, all those in favor? Opposed? All right. The matter goes to Administration and Finance. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, January 12, 2017, ordered that the monthly financial report dated November 2016 be referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance, and I move this for adoption.
Thank you. On Councilor Gerard's motion for adopting, for sending the financial report to the Committee on Administration and Finance, any discussion? No? All those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, January 12, 2017, ordered that the monthly financial report dated December 31st, 2016 be referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance.
On Councilor Gerard's motion that this matter be referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance, all those in favor?
I'm sorry, move for adoption. Sorry.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, January 12, 2017, ordered that the year-to-date budget report dated October, November, December 2016 be referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance. I move for adoption.
On Councilor Gerard's motion that this be adopted and moved to the Committee on Administration and Finance, all those in favor? Opposed? Matter carries. Councilor Famico.
City of Salem in the year 2016, or 2017, there we go. An ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 50B. Handicap parking limited time is hereby amended by repealing the following. Repeal Federal Street in front of 102 for a distance of 20 feet handicap parking tow zone. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by a city charter.
Move for first. Do you move for adoption?
Move for adoption.
First
Thank
passage.
you.
First passage.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Move for adoption for first passage.
Okay, thank you. On Council Famico's motion to adopt for first passage, any other discussion?
Just that this one's tied into the next one. We have a resident that's moving from one street to another street.
Okay.
So we're getting this in time for their move.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Matter carries. Councilor Famico.
City of Salem in the year 2017, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 50B. Handicap parking, limited time is hereby amended by repealing. No, I shouldn't say repealing. By adding the following. Pleasant Street in front of number 9 for a distance of 20 feet, handicap parking tow zone. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by city charter. Move for adoption for first passage.
As read?
As read.
Okay, all right. On Councilor Famico's motion to move for adoption for first passage as read. All those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Councilor Famico.
City of Salem and the City Council, January 12, 2017. Ordered that squares to be named for veterans shall require a written recommendation from the Salem Veterans Council. And I move for adoption.
Any discussion?
Whenever we have squares named for veterans, they typically come before the City Council. What I'm asking for is that the Veterans Council meet prior to that, because they have the know-how of people's military records and also can check those and check the dates and determine if whether or not a square should be named in that person's honor. So I'm asking that going forward that we have that from the Veterans Council as part of this. And I spoke with Veterans Affairs agent Kim Emmerling about this as well, and he was in support.
Okay. Councilor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. As the former Veterans Council liaison, if I could just ask for a friendly amendment to be included that would include not only recommendation from the Salem's Veterans Council, but also Salem Veterans Council and the Veterans Agent.
Sure.
And the reason being, Madam President, is that Mr. Emmerling did a phenomenal job in the past year in tracking down everything and getting everything in order. So he already has that information at his ready disposal.
Right.
So if and when when we name another square, going back to the Veterans Agent will be the first step, I think.
Thank you. Councilor Famico?
I'm
All
okay with
set?
that amendment. I just need to amend the paper I just passed.
Okay. So on Councilor Famico's motion that squares to be named for veterans require a written recommendation from the Salem Veterans Council, along with Councilor Epley's friendly amendment that the Veterans Agent be involved in the process. All those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Councilor Loveland.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, January 12, 2017. Ordered that the city assessor immediately return, without copying or retaining the affidavit or its contents, with an explanation, any and all affidavits signed under the pains and penalties of perjury submitted by any property owners to the City of Salem pursuant to the Mayor's letter of January 2017 that contain home and cell telephone numbers of the property owner. Said requested affidavit sent by the city to property owners required information including home and cell telephone numbers of the property owners to be submitted under the pains and penalties of perjury within 30 days pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 57D. Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 57D allows notice of a preliminary, estimated, or actual tax for real estate or personal property to include an affidavit of address to be signed and sworn by the owner of the record parcel of such property. The affidavit shall include the following information: name of the owner, street number, street name, city or town, state, and zip code. Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 57D does not require the affidavit submitted by the property owner to contain home and cell telephone numbers of the property owner. This order shall not apply if the residence of the property owner is located outside the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Finally, the city assessor shall immediately, by automated call, notify all property owners that such requested affidavit does not require home and cell phone numbers of the property owners who reside in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Thank you, Council Lovely. Any discussion?
On discussion, I got several calls from people my age, elderly, wondering what the purpose of this affidavit was. And I read the letter, and I did some research, and the letter says that this was passed in 1995, the City Council. I'm not sure it was ever utilized. I know if the letter comes to me as a property owner, the reason they have that is because I own the property, they got it from the Registry of Deeds, and they make the change when the Registry of Deeds finds as a record change in ownership. I asked what the purpose of this was, and the purpose was to notify the city be able to get a hold of troubled properties, abandoned properties. Well, I think that people who the people who are going to receive this request for an affidavit, or this requirement of affidavit, who are essentially scofflaws, are not going to be returning anything with their name and address. But back in 1995, apparently, the city adopted this. I don't believe it's ever been used up until the current letter that went out. But in 2002, out of concerns for privacy and these telephone numbers being used and utilized in invasion of privacy, essentially, the statute was changed. So even though we adopted it, which it did require the city to allow the city to get telephone numbers back in 1995, or we adopted it in 1996, it was amended in 2002 to prohibit the city from collecting cell phones and home phones, to ask for them at all. I sent an email to the city solicitor. She acknowledged that it was an error. I said, I think that it's important that we rectify the letter. I suggested a robocall go out to let people know that they are not required to submit their personal information, their telephone numbers. That didn't happen. The solution was that they're going to put a notice on the website so that people will take a look at that. Most people, the website's very convoluted. It has a lot of information on it. It's very difficult to find information if you're looking for it. But people who get this essentially demand for an affidavit to be signed within 30 days, or they'll give another 30 days, even another notice going out apparently, and then a $100 fine if they don't provide this information under the pains and penalties of perjury. An error is made. People do make mistakes. It's unfortunate, but I think more of an effort has to be made to let people know that they don't have to provide this information. And a robocall at the very minimum. We have road races. Robocall goes out telling you there's going to be a road race going down Derby Street, avoid the area. We use it quite a bit. I get them in English and in Spanish, not the same call. But these calls go out is at least once a week telling you that the trash is going to be picked up or whatever the situation may be, and it's very helpful. But I just think this information is not allowed by statute. We're requesting it. People aren't aware of it. People are upset. Why are we asking for this information? It's not information that's needed. You already have who the record owner is by virtue of what I alluded to earlier. The Registry of Deeds sends notices to the city relative to transfer of property. So I think it's an intrusion. I think it's unfortunate, but I would like any affidavits that are sent in with phone numbers returned with an explanation that they're not required. Another method that it's now on, if you look on the website, there is an explanation. Not really an explanation telling you don't need to do it. The affidavit is changed, and within the affidavit it says not required. The phone number is not required. I don't think that's appropriate. When you ask for an affidavit for information pursuant to a general law, it should go by the general law. And so I'm asking this be adopted. Whether the mayor does it or not, I'm disappointed that they didn't take action and say, gee, we made a mistake, what can we do to let people know that we don't want their personal information? But nothing's been done short of just making the minor changes that I allude to, and I'm disappointed in that. And I'm sorry that I had to bring this in. I was hoping that some action would be taken. Mistakes are made, but they need to be corrected. Thank you.
Thank you. So your motion is to adopt?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? On Councillor Lovely's motion to adopt this order, All those in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
Anybody want to call for a roll call? That looks close. Counselor Ryan?
Can I just, under discussion? Just, basically, we have an ordinance that says we shall do this. You shall give your name and address, and it's asked for extra information that you shall not have to apply, and there's been a mistake. So why wouldn't we support correcting the mistake? It's, you can, so if it said you can supply this voluntarily, it'd be fine. But it says, under the pains of perjury, you have to supply information, which it's misstating the law. So if somebody has been told under pains of perjury, you have to give this information, and thinking they had to, they did, and now they don't, shouldn't they be notified that they gave information that they said was under pains of perjury, but it isn't? So shouldn't you, when you misstate for whatever reason, shouldn't you correct that? That's all this is asking you to do.
Counselor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I think it just goes to order that the city assessor immediately return. What authority does the city council have to order the city assessor to do anything? I'm not sure.
That's what we do.
I mean, we have the ability to order the city assessor to do something?
Yeah.
Really? Well, I'd like a legal opinion on that, because I don't believe the city council can take action in a meeting on a Thursday night and say, we are going to turn around and vote to order the city assessor to do so. I don't think it's a bad idea. I honestly believe, and I don't consider myself a lamb, as was alluded to earlier by somebody in the public. We got this affidavit at my house. My wife filled it out. I signed it the other day. I didn't think twice about it. I'm sorry if God forbid something's going on in my neighborhood and there's a major gas leak or something, they want to notify the neighbors, and they call down to the assessor's office, which this information is not, it's not public information, it's not open to open public. You couldn't ascertain this information. The only people that keep this records are the assessors. But if the police or the fire department calls down and says, who owns this property, how do we get a hold of them? I'd love a cell phone message knowing that there's a major gas leak or something. But that's just me. But whether it's legal or not, I totally agree that if it's not legal, then it shouldn't say on the form, under pain of perjury, blah, blah, blah. It should say optional or say something else. But I guess the bigger question is, I understand what the order is saying, but the question is, at this point, we're going to take a vote tonight, do we have that authority to do that? Simple question, and I don't know. And then the city solicitor is not to answer that question. So I don't know if we can actually take this vote. So if we're going to come to a vote, if it's not going to go to the committee to get referred out the next meeting, and we can get that question answered, then I'm not going to feel comfortable taking a vote, because I don't feel comfortable ordering any department head within the city to do something.
So, Councilor McCarthy, are you moving that it go to a committee?
I'll open it up for discussion, and then I'll make a move.
We order people all the time.
Councilor, I don't know who came first. Councilor Gerard, Councilor Repley? Councilor Gerard, then Councilor Repley?
Thank you, Madam President. I agree with the Ward 1 colleague that also the other thing to keep in mind is that, as he pointed out, that this is not public information. This is private information. On the affidavit itself, it specifically says that this is for municipal purposes only. No one can request that of the assessor other than public safety if it's a municipal issue. Furthermore, when you fill out a census form, you're filling out more information in the census forms. That's what's public information, and that's in what we all informally call the nosy book, that it has everybody's information, your date of birth, your occupation, all of that. So, I mean, that's the same information, and so where this is something that if someone needs to get in touch, if there's a leak or something in the neighborhood, I want to be called. And also when, as I understand it, when Councilor Lovely brought the issue to the attention of the city solicitor's office, they changed the document so that it says the phone number is not required, this is optional. So this was addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Repley.
Thank you, Madam President. I don't know how the city selects the numbers that they use for their reverse 911 calls. But I just find it ironic, Madam President, that we would use a reverse 911 call to tell prospective people that we have your telephone number unfortunately, and we're calling to let you know that we have your telephone number. That to me is a bit ironic. I just wanted to make that point.
Thank you.
Madam President, it's like-
Counselor Terrio, then Counselor Ryan, then Counselor Sargent. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. I agree that there could be some concerns about what information is being given, and also if it's not absolutely required to collect a phone call, to collect phone numbers, I have no problem with our forms that go out saying that the phone number is optional. I think that's fine. When I filled it out, I didn't have any particular problem putting our phone number in it as the property owner, but I read the intent of it was to have the record for as part of the troubled properties issue. We have a lot of that happen in my neighborhood with properties that have been abandoned and properties where we have issues with the property and it's really difficult to contact the owner. Because we have landlords who own them through, chains of other companies, and it's not always easy to find who the person is to deal with when it comes to a problem property. So I get the intent of that, and I read through what this was the original action by the city council back in 1990, I think 6 was in trying to do this, and I get that. I do have questions about some of the legal issues of it. Is it legal? We have, the city solicitors weighed in on some of this. The Good Ward 3 councilor has an opinion on this. We've heard a lot of differing interpretations of some of this just tonight. My preference, although I'm not a member of the committee, I would request that we move to put it into the Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs, I believe, to try and get opinion on, an actual opinion on this that we can refer to by the next meeting. And also, this may be something, since we're talking about a conflict with Mass General Law, we may want to get an opinion from the Attorney General's office on this as well, to make sure that this is either something we need to do or something we don't need to do.
Okay. So right now, we have a motion on the floor to commit, which I believe, Madam Clerk, supersedes the motion to adopt. Am I correct? In Councilor Terrio's motion? Move it where?
Ordinances, license, legal affairs.
Yeah.
Committee's still in discussion, right?
Okay, so is there a second on
We took a
Councilor?
vote, but it was indeterminate, so.
Second that.
So Councilor Famico seconds Councilor Terrio's motion? Was that it? Did I see that? Okay. Under discussion, Councilor Ryan.
Thank you. The phone call, I don't think we should do, but there should be a letter, because that's how everyone got this through the mail. There should be a letter sent back to everyone saying that if you don't want your phone number, fill this form out and we'll delete it or whatever. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but what if you're a police officer, a firefighter, correctional officer? You don't know this information, who's going to get access to it, even though it says whatever, no one's going to get it. Like in the nosy book there, the police and the firefighters aren't in there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's reasons why that stuff's not in there, and if people should have the option, they don't have to give their phone number, but maybe a letter should go back out saying it was in error, the phone number, if you don't want your phone number, we can take it off and delete it. So.
Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. I think the main issue is cell phone numbers. Councilor Epley is correct when he says that we can call you on your phone to tell you you don't need to give your phone number. Your home phone numbers are already part of the robocall. I don't think anybody has issue with the home phone number, even though it's not required. There's no "you shall provide your home phone number." We already have them for the robocall. So I think the issue is the cell phones. And on that same line, my family's lived in my house for 100 years. So I got something in my house saying, "Tell us that you live here." Well, if you didn't know I lived there, I wouldn't have got the thing in the mail, right? It's got my name, it's got my address, it's where my family's lived for 100 years. So if you got it at your home address, they already know that's your home address. If you didn't, what could they have said? If you don't live here, call and tell us? Because you wouldn't, if you didn't live there, you wouldn't have gotten it. And under these problem properties, if it gets sent to the house, the tenants get it. Do you think the tenants of a problem property are going to call up the landlord and say, "You got some mail here"? So that if the point is to stop problem properties, we have to go a little bit different way about doing it. And if it's to find out a small percentage of our properties, why are 100% of the homeowners being inconvenienced with this? That's what I don't understand. So, thank you.
Councilor McCarthy and Councilor Famico.
Thank you, Madam President.
Councilor Lovely.
I truly believe, if there was an error that was made, it should be correct, it should be rectified. The question is how. I mean, simply ordering or trying to order the assessor to do something, I mean, as was just brought up, maybe the solution is to send out another letter. Well, if we're gonna spend the time and effort to send out another letter, then why don't we just send out another affidavit that's worded properly, that doesn't violate any intent of the law, and do it that way? I mean, the question is, I understand there's an error that has been identified, and how do we rectify it? And we need to put the people in the room that actually do the mailing and do the setting up and do whatever it is what they do as their department. And we need to bring them in and say, okay, there was an error. How do we fix it? Simply ordering them to fix it without knowing what the end result is. I mean, I just think that's, we need to really, if we're going to fix it, we need to fix it right. We need to fix it once. So that's just my opinion. I mean, trust me, I am in full belief that if we made a mistake and that, that information isn't supposed to be on the record, then that should be fixed. I'm not to say that it shouldn't happen. All I'm saying is, how do we go about it?
Okay, Councilor Lovely, then Councilor Famico.
We issue orders all the time to have department heads appear before us, to department heads to address certain issues. So the order is certainly in order. I spoke with the city solicitor. She agrees that it's an error. So the city is quoting a statute that does not allow for the city to collect telephone numbers. So the solution that I have on here is that if they come in and have the phone numbers, that they be returned with an explanation, with an affidavit. I don't feel that in an affidavit you should have something that says optional, but that's up to somebody else to make that determination. I don't think it belongs there. But all they have to do is when they come in, send them back with an explanation that phone numbers are not required. So they can fill it out and send it back. If they want to put the phone numbers on it, they're going to put optional there, fine. There's not a question of whether we can order somebody to do something. It's whether the mayor vetoes it and chooses to ignore it. I thought it would be very easy early on when I brought it to the attention of the city solicitor that we just nip it in the bud, send them back with an explanation, and they didn't want to do that. They want to put it on the website and say you've said that the affidavit has been changed, but not the affidavit that's been sent to 12,000 people in the city of Salem, 12,000 property owners. To say that it's enough that it's been changed because it's on the website, I would venture to say that maybe other than this body, if they took a look at it, there might be 20 people who went on and looked for that application that affidavit they've already got. So it's very simple. They get it with a phone number, send it back. That's very simple. That's all they need to do. I thought a robocall would be helpful so they get fewer in. We seem to use robocalls for everything. But the statute's clear. You can't ask for that. At one time, it was in the statute. We adopted that. They took it out for a reason. The big news today is Russian hacking. And there's so many people who have access to our computers here, who work here, who can get the information. To say that we need this information because of problem properties is a red herring. There's another motive for these numbers. I don't know what it is. I can only speculate, but that doesn't matter. The point is, it's an error. It should be corrected. Very simply, send it back to folks.
Councilor Famico.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to go back to something I said before, with the problem properties, this, for example, wouldn't go to every address. It would only be the property owners. For example, the Grimshaw House on Charter Street, our assistant city solicitor contacted the owner through registered mail and wrote to them and explained how much the house meant to the city and how they'd really appreciate if a little TLC could be put into it, or a lot of TLC, and that's how now all the work's being done there. I'd also like to note that a lot of people they no longer have home phone numbers. Majority of people I know, it's cell phones only, and I understand that there was an error made in this, and I'm glad it is optional, because going forward, it is the easiest and the quickest way to contact someone is through their phone number. I understand the different concerns of this. That's why I'd like it to go to committee so we can get the legal opinion and figure out the best way to proceed, because I think a robocall would end up confusing more people than doing good for this particular instance. But I'd like to get that to go to Ola and to get it scheduled as soon as possible to come back in 2 weeks.
Councilor Fury.
Madam President, I was on the city council back in 1996, so I think this is a corrective action. State law supersedes city ordinances. If the state law says we don't need it, we don't need it. So I concur with Councilor Lovely.
Thank you, Councilor Fury. Any other discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd have to agree that I'd like to see this corrected. It was clearly an error, and I thank the good Ward 3 Council for bringing it forward. But let's take a push pause, if you would, and let's get it right. Rather than sending out a letter at a cost of $6,000 or $10,000, and then maybe doing another thing, having people send this affidavit back without the telephone numbers, let's take a little deep breath, figure out exactly what to do, put it in committee, bring it out at the next meeting, and let's get it done. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Lovely.
Just finally, just sending committee is just giving more time for this erroneous affidavit to be out there. And the city solicitor has acknowledged that it's an error, it's not correct. It needs to be corrected. A very simple thing to do. The robocall was a suggestion. If it pleases the council, I'll be happy to remove it. But if you're asking for information from somebody and they erroneously send it to you, it should be sent back so they have an opportunity to take it out and send it back. We don't have to, Councilor Brian mentioned, send another one out. We don't have to do that. Just the ones that come in with the phone numbers on it can be sent back with an explanation that they're not required. It's that simple. I'm not opposed to checking out the matter of the robocall. I thought it was a good idea, but I'm opposed to it going to committee. Just delaying.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I mean, sitting here, I think what could be a sort of an obvious solution presents itself in that what we could do, and this would also, whether this goes to committee or whether this goes forward, however, in what form, if there's in fact information on there that we should not be collecting, then I think the obvious solution to this would be to simply have the assessor's office destroy any forms that have come in with the data that they aren't supposed to do, and then with the next tax bill, because these went along with the quarterly tax bills, the mailing, do this as another mailing with the next quarterly tax bill with a corrected form and a note saying that if you'd already sent this in, we apologize. We had asked for information on this that by Mass General Law we are not supposed to put on this, so we have destroyed these. We have destroyed the previous ones. Please fill out these corrected forms and send them in. If we did something like that, would be, I think, a pretty reasonable solution to it. But again, if we are in committee with it, it gives us a chance to ask those questions too and see what if that's I think that's a pretty workable solution, and it doesn't incur additional mailing costs, additional notification, and for the people who have already sent it in, they get a note attached to the new affidavit that says, the corrected affidavit that says, this is how we are, this is what we've done, this is why we're sending this to you again. We apologize for the mistake, and when we all move forward. But
thank you. Councilor Girai.
Thank you, Madam President. Quickly, I am in favor of sending this to committee because in my research on this, I didn't find any 2002 statute. I know that there are other cities and towns that do actually that use the affidavit and that do ask for phone numbers on their affidavits. So it would be really helpful to just have this go to committee, whether it goes to OLA or if it comes to ANF where this is part of the administration, that's fine as well. Just would much rather have this discussed before we do anything on this. Thank you.
Councilor Lovely.
Just finally, I did provide a copy of the 2002 amendment to all the councils via email. And again, if it's a legal matter you're concerned about, I've spoken with the city solicitor, and I will tell you that she agrees that they are not allowed to ask for that information. So the statute was passed in 1995, accepted by the city in 96. Never utilized until now, and it was because of privacy reasons it was amended in 2002, and I do have a copy of that if you'd like it.
I actually have a question that I'd like to confer with the clerk on, and if I could have a motion for a 1-minute recess, and we can come back. Thank you. We're in recess. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, we are back in session. Okay, so Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Madam President. For discussion, I'd like to offer a friendly amendment to this that, let's see, that the city assessor would destroy any affidavits received with the current, with the form that had been, with the initial form that went out, and that the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs meet to review a replacement form that would be legally correct, and to review the language of, a explanation that will go out to taxpayers with their next bills.
Okay, do I hear a second? Oh, second?
No.
No second?
Yeah, second.
Okay, second by Councilor Lovely?
I accept this friendly amendment.
Okay, under discussion. Oh, sorry.
So I offered the amendment, so I'll, if the Ward 6 counselor doesn't mind, I'll, thank you. This is an issue there's obviously an issue in what was done, and the intent, the intent to me seems harmless. But what we have here, we had a bit of an impasse on it in a sense, because we're looking at a thing that is, by most of the interpretation we're talking about here, problematic. So rather than incurring a significant amount of cost, this is a solution much like what we were discussing before we went to recess, where we'll have the assessor destroy the forms that have been sent in so far. We'll figure out with the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, we can have the assessor and the mayor and the city solicitor in here to discuss the replacement, and get a replacement form that is correct, legally correct, and get just an explanation to taxpayers that can go out with the next tax bill. We're looking for this information. I think there's valid reasons to have a registration of all this information that normally you'd have to go digging through deeds to get. I think there's valid reasons for the assessor's office to have this information available in terms of resolving issues with properties. They probably don't need to have the phone numbers. That all said, we haven't collected this in 20 years, even though we authorized collecting it 20 years ago. We haven't been collecting it, so waiting an additional quarter to collect it, I don't think causes any harm.
Okay, Councilor Gerard, then Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I am still questioning what the cost is. I don't want to do anything on this until we know exactly what the cost is to either destroy these, to issue new affidavits, and that's why I'd just much rather this just go to committee. Just leave it as it is, go to committee, have it worked out in the next 2 weeks, and then it'll be resolved.
Okay, well, right now, we're considering Councilor Turiel's most recent motion, but thank you.
Point of order, Madam President, I believe that Councilor Lovely accepted this as a friendly amendment.
Oh, excuse me.
So I believe the underlying motion is Councilor Lovely's motion as amended.
Okay, okay. All right, so on Councilor Lovely's motion for adoption with Councilor Turiel's friendly amendment, under discussion, Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I thank the good Ward 5 Council for bringing that forward and finding a fast solution to this so that we're back in compliance. I'd like to propose a small amendment to that amendment, going back to the original wording. If we can just simply add, the good Ward 5 Council proposed destroying these documents, but also to make it clear to everybody who's worried about this in the public that the information, that these are destroyed without copying or retaining the contents of those affidavits. You missed that portion of Councilor, good Ward 3 Council's original request. So the information should not be retained. But this is a great way of saving the taxpayers' money by not having to do another whole mailing. Do it with the next text bill. But I think this matter twofold. One is to act now so that the information is not kept and we're back in compliance with state law. But let's get this into committee so that we can amend the conflict between the state law and our city ordinance, which is wrong. So it technically needs to go to OLA, Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, so we can correct that ordinance that says that we can ask for telephone numbers, which we can't. So it has to go to all the committee. Thank you.
So Counselor Dibble, you're making another friendly amendment.
I'd accept his amendment to my amendment, and
And Counselor Epley, then Counselor Lovely.
I want to be able to support this, but I'm still troubled by something, and I agree with Counselor Dibble's original issue was, and actually Counselor McCarthy as well, we want to get this right. And if we're trying to correct something that has not comported with state law, I completely understand that, and I want to agree with that. But I don't want to, in the process, go against city law or city charter in terms of the separation of powers that we have outlined within our city charter. The Ward 1 counselor was correct, at least in my opinion, that we can't order the mayor to do anything. We can't order an administration department head to do anything. We don't have that power. So what I would suggest, if it's amenable to the Ward 3 counselor, is if we make this a resolution on the issue of what we are asking of the city assessor, then that would accomplish that. But ordering, I can't support it.
Thank you, Counselor Lovely.
Yeah, we do orders all the time. I mean, we order that people come in, we order things to be corrected. While I appreciate Councilor Epley's effort, a solution has to be made to this problem, to this. And the easiest thing, and I commend Councilor Terrio, is just that the affidavits be destroyed and not copied. That destroys the entire essential thrust of the amendment. I mean, the whole idea is this information is supposed to be private. The city has mistakenly asked for private information to be given to the city, and the easiest way to do it is to destroy it and come up with the proper affidavit, and we'd be happy to do so. If they choose not to do the right thing and destroy the documents, maybe they'll choose to do so. Maybe the council will take some action beyond that. It's not my wish to do so. My wish is to bring some attention to what's occurred and have a solution. I think it's a far better solution Councilor Terrell's come up with, just to destroy the affidavits as they come in. But if the mayor chooses to do nothing, I'm not sure what the next step will be, but I'm hoping that she will not. To take the affidavit, take information that she's not supposed to be asking for, and destroying it is appropriate.
Counselor Ryan.
I'm willing to take it into the OLA committee and have a meeting next Thursday. That's fine. As far as ordering, we order all the time. We order St. Patrick's Day, order the head of Park and Recs to raise the flags. The mayor can veto it. It's not a big deal. But just put it in committee. We'll have a meeting next week and we'll get it back by the next council meeting. That's fine.
Okay. Counselor Gerard, then Counselor Lovely.
If I could just clarify our joint motion now.
That would be, okay.
I mean, it does call for us to approve the order and to the Council on Ordinance and Legal Affairs work to improve the order and have the assessor in and mayor's representative or whoever the chair seems to have. But I would like to have the order go forward so that documents that do come in are destroyed and not kept.
Thank you. Counselor Gerard.
I just want to be clear about this, that the mayor can't access this information. She's not allowed. And so it's just the assessor that has this. There seems to be like this nefarious undertow that's going on here that it's not even reality. That this is, and again, this is information that's on any of our census forms that allows us to be active voters. So it boggles my mind that we're continuing to discuss this. This shouldn't even be an issue. Thank you.
Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Briefly, I don't have, personally, I don't have any problem with the information, and I've already provided it myself. I don't have a home phone anymore. I'm one of those people who went cordless, but I'd have no problem with providing the information. But if we have the question at this point of there being law. So I'm fine with proceeding ahead, and honestly, I don't think that this will be resolved in time for everything to be shredded by the time Ola meets next week and these questions are all answered. But I really don't have a problem with passing the order as we've amended it at this point. Ola will be addressing this in the next week. The Ola chair has already committed to doing that. And we have another meeting coming up in 2 weeks, and at that point we can have kind of a final resolution to this once and for all and if it turns out at this point if it turns out that in the next 2 weeks we have an opinion from the AG's office that says it's perfectly legal to collect this stuff, then we can go ahead and collect it. I don't see any grand conspiracy behind getting the information. I don't see any real issue to the information, or honestly, given the tools that most of us can use, given the information we capture in the city census, given the information that those of us who are members of any party have access to using voter tools like Vote Builder, given the kind of information we already have access to, there's not really an issue so much of residents themselves, and the information that is being collected in this is targeted at property owners, not at the residents. So, this is going to the people who get the property tax bill, not the people who are renting the apartment, or the people who are just living in living in an accessory apartment, whatever else. So I'm fine with moving forward on this. I support this going forward, and it also going to committee so that they can resolve the legal questions. I'm fine with the order to destroy the documents, but if it turns out that if there is another form that's coming out of this, then we just want to collect that form anyway. So
thank you, Councilor
okay
McCarthy.
with moving forward.
Thank you, Councilor Terrio. Councilor McCarthy, then Councilor Famico.
Thank you, Madam President. If everyone takes a step back and thinks about what they're saying, everyone's on the same page. Everyone is saying that there was an error made, and we have in our possession, in an office downstairs, some information that shouldn't have been, according to state statute, collected. Okay, we have it. What is the difference if we pass an order tonight or 2 weeks from now in order to what to do with it? Because as I'm sitting here listening to everyone debate it, no one wants to keep the information, nor should we, unless the person checks the optional box, if that's the option, or we don't ask for a period. In a sentence, as the Ward 3 council says, he doesn't think it should be on the form. We make that determination in committee. But the fact of the matter is, if there's somebody else, we're having this big debate tonight, and there's somebody out there at home, whoever he or she may be, and is wondering, how am I going to be 100% sure that they actually destroyed my piece of information? I would like that piece of information mailed back to me, because I don't, as someone alluded to, I don't trust government or whatever. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, we're going to pass an order tonight that's going to tell a department to start destroying documents. What authority we'd have to destroy documents? I understand the issue, but if you take the big step back and say, okay, we as a city, a department downstairs has information that they have been given in error. How do we resolve the error? So tonight we're going to haphazardly pass an order because we all think it's the best thing. We're going to tell them to just shred it. Well, who's to say that someone doesn't want it back to prove that they don't want it? Who's to say that legally that's what the best option that we should be taking? I don't represent the city legally, and nobody in this room does. So we need a legal opinion on the best way to deal it. So the order, if everyone wants to take a giant step back, says the order should be something to the effect that ordered that the assessor's office maintain the affidavits in a secure location till such a time that the committee addresses the issue and figures out the best way to deal with it, whether it is A, to destroy them, or B, mail them back. Or maybe it's to do nothing. I don't know, because I don't have a ruling from all of the people we're all sitting here talking about. But the fact of the matter is, we've batted this around for more than half an hour and took a recess on it, and we're all in agreement that we're all in agreement that the basic underlying principle is we have downstairs in an office a piece of information that was asked for erroneously, and what do we do with it? We don't want to keep it. I'm not in favor of shredding it. No offense. I think Until someone tells me that's the best way to do it, that's the way we should do it, then that's what we should do. If the best idea is to mail it back, then that's what we have to do. Maybe we mail it back with the next tax bill. I don't know, as someone alluded to with the cost. Irregardless of cost, we obtained a piece of information in error. And how do we resolve the error? We work together to figure out how to fix it. And the best way to fix it is to let the people in this room do their work and work with the people in the administration and downstairs to find out if the best way to do it is to shred it, then so be it. But I'm not going to I'm sorry, I agree with my colleague across the aisle. I fully agree. I don't want this information if we're not supposed to have it. But how do we get rid of it? Is shredding the best answer? I don't know. Is mailing it back to them the answer? I don't know. Is taking a Sharpie and blacking it out the right answer? I don't know. What's going to make the public at home that we've all made this issue about feel the most comfortable with that piece of information that we have? And I'm not sure, because who's to say that XYZ person sitting at home is looking at this saying, I don't trust them that they're going to shred it. So I'm not sure. I mean, we're batting this around. I mean, the best thing to do would be to send it to the committee, let us do the work, and under the sense that we're going to do it in the 2 weeks, we're going to have an answer for everybody. We have this information. This is how we're going to deal with it. We're going to shred it. We're going to rip it up. We're going to mail it back to you, whatever the resolve is to make everyone comfortable. But I don't think that the 11 of us can figure that out right now tonight because we don't represent the city legally.
Thank you, Councilor McCarthy. Councilor Epley.
Madam President, I move that the amended motion be sent to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole.
Under discussion with that motion.
I want to just commend Councilor McCarthy. My intent was to send the documents back. I think that I don't have a problem with going to committee, provided that we at least go on record as requiring that those documents that have been received be segregated, not copied or data entered in any way. So I'm comfortable with that, because one of the reasons that my concern is that they have the data. If they're not going to do anything, they're going to start to enter the data into the database. So
I adopt that as a friendly amendment.
Okay. So I would ask that my motion be referred to committee, and then Councilor, well, why don't we act on your motion first relative to the asking the segregation, et cetera. So
Councilor Epley's motion is to send the amended order?
Well, if I could, I'd like to have a vote.
I'm sorry.
I withdraw my motion.
Okay.
Councilor McCarthy's motion relative to requesting, ordering that the affidavits be segregated, not copied or data entered.
Until such time we figure out what to do with it.
Well, I don't know if that was in the order.
That's not like that.
I think that's sufficient.
Wordsmith on this one.
That they be segregated, not copied or data entered. And I think if we pass that, then we could send the another order to committee.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Madam Clerk? Okay, so on Councilor Lovely's, on Councilor, I'm sorry.
You can take it.
Okay. Just, it's on that first motion.
Yeah,
On the most recent motion relative to the segregation, et cetera.
Okay, so on Councilor Lovely's most recent motion, all those in favor? Opposed?
I move that the original,
That passes.
the initial order be sent to the Committee on Ordinance and Legal Affairs.
On Councilor Lovely's motion that the original order be sent to Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs? All those in favor? Opposed?
Co-posted, Madam President? Could I ask for that to be co-posted?
Co-posted with the Committee of the Whole?
I'll accept that.
Okay. Councilor McCarthy?
Go ahead.
Nope, we're just voting.
No, okay. All those in favor? Opposed? That passes. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. Just for clarification for anybody at home who's witnessed this whole thing, sometimes the proceedings, for those people who don't understand the procedural things. So basically what we just did was we passed an order that anyone who sent an affidavit or was going to, that has that information on it, it's going to go in a secure location. No one's going to do anything to it until such time as we have a committee meeting to figure out what the best way to get rid of that information and how we're going to deal with it in the future. So anyone sitting at home who just watched this whole thing and said, oh my God, what did they just do? just to reassure everyone that any affidavit that comes into City Hall is going to be kept, not copied, going to be secured in the assessor's office downstairs. They're not going to process it. And that what's going to happen is, at such a time when the committee meets and comes up with a solution, then we're going to figure out how we're going to deal with it. And then we're going to report back and everyone's going to know how we're going to deal with it. Just so for clarification, anyone at home who just witnessed that and said, oh my God, what just happened? That's what happened.
Councilor Terrio?
And to add to that, if you haven't already sent it in, hang on to it. Put it away, don't worry about it for now, and we'll figure out what you're going to get.
It's fine.
Did I miss something? What is it?
I have a question. So you've taken the original order. This is what's before you.
Right.
Committee.
Going to committee.
Yes.
As is.
Yes.
And I'm creating another order,
Yes.
a second order.
Yes.
Okay. All right, just wanted to be clear.
Thank you. You can't keep track of it. I'm not sure anybody else can.
Are we ready?
I could write a book on it now.
Councilor Mika?
Yeah, to take onto that, you can fill it in. You can still send it in, but just don't fill out your phone number.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready for committee reports? Councilor Fury?
Madam President, late file?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, please, thank
go
you.
right ahead, sorry.
Madam President, fellow members, please, in the City Council, January 12, 2017, ordered that the Committee on Ordinances, Licensing, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet to review the compensation of the mayor, city clerk, and assistant city clerk in accordance with the city ordinances, section 2-142, 2-312, 2-381, and 2-53. Madam President.
Thank you, and that's a late file, so that's going to go right to committee.
Committee on Ordinances, Licensing, and Legal Affairs, please.
Co-posted?
Co-posted.
Okay. Thank you. All right, now, committee reports?
Can we vote on that? To send it?
Yeah, we have to vote to send it to committee.
Oh, sorry.
Doesn't go automatically.
We'll get this. All right. All right. On Councilor Fury's motion to send the review of salaries to Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole?
No discussion. No discussion.
Oh, that's right.
No discussion? All those in favor?
Zip it.
Opposed?
Goes automatically.
Committee reports?
Councilor Mobley.
Councilor Ryan?
Thank you, Madam President. Committee on Ordinance, License, Legal Affairs, to whom was referred the matter of granting certain licenses. I consider said matter and would recommend dividing the question. We had junk dealer, Newark Recycle Fibers, North Shore Recycling on Jefferson Avenue. We wanted to divide that out and keep that in committee to have them in. The Ward 3 councilor had some questions. He can go into that if he wants to make any comments. No comments? All right. And then the other part, the C-worm, secondhand clothing, secondhand valuables, those ones we approved. Those are fine.
Okay, so on the acceptance of Councilor Ryan's report, all those in favor? Opposed? The report's accepted. On the adoption of the recommendation as amended,
No, that's the recommendation.
right? You wanted to,
Yeah, we just want to approve the C-worm, secondhand clothing, secondhand valuables, and we're going to keep the junk dealer in committee. I'm going to schedule a committee meeting to have them come in and speak with us.
okay, any discussion on that? Okay, on the adoption by Councilor Ryan, all those in favor? I mean, on the recommendation by Councilor Ryan, all those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, January 12, 2017. Committee on Administration and Finance, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of an appropriation of $35,000 from the fund balance free cash to planning contracted services for a new Salem bicycle share program, has considered the said matter and would recommend that it remain in committee.
Okay, on the acceptance of the report, all those in favor? All those opposed? On the recommendation to remain in committee, Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. We had a great discussion with, since this was co-posted, which was terrific, we had members from the Committee of the Whole as well as the Committee on Administration and Finance. The mayor was here, also Jeff Ely from the Planning Department, and a representative of the company Zagstar, who we are discussing this bike sharing program with. We all felt very strongly that this sounds like a really fantastic program, but we felt that we just wanted to hammer out or get the contract hammered out before we sent it out favorably, and that's hopefully what will happen at our next meeting.
Okay. Any other discussion? On Councilor Gerard's recommendation to keep the matter in committee, all those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. What do we have next? Councilor Lovely. Oh, communications from city officials, I'm sorry.
We have a communication from the Planning Board with a recommendation of approval on amending the zoning map by adding Jefferson Avenue as a designated corridor with the entrance corridor overlay district.
Councilor Lovely.
Move it received and placed on file.
On Councilor Lovely's motion that this be received and placed on file, all those in favor? Opposed? It'll be
Move
placed on
adoption.
file. Councilor Lovely.
Adoption of the zoning amendment by roll call vote.
On Councilor Lovely's motion to adopt this by roll call vote?
First passage.
For first passage, Madam Clerk?
Councilor Terrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Ryan?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Lovely?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fiori?
Yes.
Councilor Famico?
Yes.
Councilor Epley?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes. On the matter of, where are we? Communication from the planning board that, so on the matter of Councilor Lovely's motion, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The matter carries. Councilor Dibble?
No. Communication from the Planning Board with recommendation of approval on amending the zoning map by adding Paradise Road as a designated corridor with the entrance corridor overlay district.
Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that communication be received and filed.
On Councilor's motion that this communication be received and placed on file, all in favor? All opposed? Councilor Dibble.
Yes, I move the adoption of the zoning map amendment for first passage by roll call vote.
On Councilor Dibble's motion for adoption for first passage by roll call vote, Madam Clerk?
Councilor Terrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Ryan?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Lovely?
Yes.
Councilor Gerard?
Yes.
Councilor Fiori?
Yes.
Councilor Famico?
Yes.
Councilor Epley?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
Councilor Milo?
Yes. On Councilor Dibble's motion for first passage by roll call vote, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative. The matter carries.
Madam President?
Yes, Councilor Epley.
Thank you, Madam President. We didn't really have a chance to have a discussion, and I just want to say very briefly, I want to commend both the Ward 3 councilor and the Ward 7 councilor for doing the work in recommending to the planning board that we have these overlay districts for both of those. It's been an oversight, and it's well timed, so.
Sorry, thank you, sir. I'll get there. Thank you. Petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid to relocate 2 poles on Bridge Street.
Hearing requested January 26, 2017. Councilor Dibble.
We have a request from the Salem State University Diversity and Multicultural Affairs to hold the MLK Freedom March and use of city streets on Monday, January 16, 2017.
Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that it be granted.
On Councilor Dibble's motion that this petition be granted, all those in favor? Oh, under discussion? I'm so sorry. Okay, under discussion, Councilor Dibble, sorry.
Madam President, this is a wonderful event. I encourage you all to attend. I believe Councilor Fiori, myself, I'm not sure who else attended last year. I had the opportunity to go many years ago, a couple decades ago, to one of the first events that my middle son was selected as an essay winner, and he was able to read a section of his essay at this event. This event's been going on for about 27 years now. But this was about 24 years ago. Well, it was a long time ago, whatever it was, not 24, 20 years ago. He was pretty young. I think he was a kindergarten, first grade, short little essay. But he was able to sit with some of the family of Martin Luther King and some other friends of Martin Luther King Jr. Sitting at the same table, breaking bread with him, having dinner with him, and discussing his paper was amazing. I'm sitting there as well. He was allowed to bring one parent with him, so I was his escort. And last year, it was amazing. You know, over the last 8 years, I hate to say it, but I'll say it anyway, over the last 8 years, we've seen a lot of divisiveness in our country. Things are a little bit tougher and worse off than I think it should be. But this event at Salem State, for almost 3 decades, brings the community together, brings the college community together, and anybody from the city who goes, professors, et cetera, it brings them together. It's really moving. So I'm happy that the Salem's No Place for Hate Committee is assisting with this. It's a good thing. So I encourage you all to join us on Martin Luther King Day, I believe it is. Monday. And at 4:30 at the Ellison Campus Center at North Campus, and join the walk at 5:45 to South Campus. It's a good thing the way the Salem community actually is brought together by this effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Dibble. Councilor Epley, then Councilor Fury.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to concur with the Ward 7 councilor. And I would just highlight that Salem State has a coordinated week-long worth of programs concerning Martin Luther King, starting on the 16th with the MLK Freedom March, and that goes through the following Monday when there's a keynote speech that takes place. But there are events all along the way, including on Inauguration Day on Friday the 20th. So I'd encourage anyone to look at the Salem State website, as well as the No Place for Hate Committee Facebook page, which will outline all the different events during the week. And the general public is involved. This is not just a Salem State event. This is a citywide event. So I'm hoping that everyone comes, and I appreciate the Ward 7 councilor for bringing in this motion.
Councilor Fury.
Madam President, we all did this Pledge of Allegiance just at the beginning of the meeting. We all said liberty and justice for all. What better man, what better epitome, what better hero made this country a better country than the drum major for social justice himself, Dr. King. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. King's wife, Coretta, at Endicott College, and his daughter at Salem State University. It's just a beautiful opportunity. I think he's looking down to remember that. Councilor O'Keefe used to march in that parade, being a member of the No Place for Hate Committee, and I'm looking forward to marching in that. It's a great way to remember Dr. King and where we've come from and where we have to go to. Thank you, Councilor Dibble. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Councilor Gerard.
Just quickly want to say, after I finished undergrad, I did a stint in AmeriCorps in the National Civilian Community Corps, and that was in 1998. That was, I believe, the first year that AmeriCorps started this program called A Day On, Not a Day Off. And on that particular day, I got to paint Cardozo High School, which was the first integrated high school in Washington, D.C., and at the time it was with President Clinton, and so was Sam Donaldson and everything. They were all there. But, you know, the North Shore Community Development Corporation, they're also doing something with A Day On, Not a Day Off. And so I encourage people that have the day off to get out and go find some great opportunities to volunteer around the city.
Thank you. Any other discussion? On Councilor Dibble's motion that this petition be granted, all those in favor? Opposed? The petition's granted. I believe, okay, so we can skip to page 16, more petitions, additional.
We have a list of license applications for public guides.
Waive the reading.
Councilor Ryan.
Move granted.
On Councilor Ryan's motion that these be granted, any discussion?
No discussion.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? They're granted. Further petitions.
We have a list of taxi operator licenses.
Councilor Ryan?
Move granted.
On Councilor Ryan's motion that these be granted, any discussion?
No discussion. No.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Granted. Further petitions?
We have one taxi operator license for Juan Reynoso.
Councilor Ryan?
Move denied.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
Under Councilor Ryan's motion that this be denied, all those in favor? Opposed? Further petitions?
We We have a request from Juan Reynoso to hold a hearing on the denial of his taxi operator license.
Counselor Ryan.
Move to refer to the Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs to hold an executive session.
Any discussion? Okay.
No discussion.
No discussion. Okay, on Counselor Ryan's motion to refer this matter to Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs to hold an executive session. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, further petitions.
We have license applications for Seaworm, secondhand clothing, secondhand valuable, and tag days.
Counselor Ryan.
Move to refer to the Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs.
Okay, any discussion? No? Okay, on Counselor Ryan's motion to refer these applications to Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, all those in favor? Opposed? Granted. Okay, further petitions.
We have a list of drain layer contract operator licenses.
Counselor Ryan.
Move they be granted.
On Counselor Ryan's motion that these licenses be granted under discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion? All those in... What was that?
I'm going to be busy.
Oh. Okay, on Counselor Ryan's motion, all those in favor? Opposed? Granted. Okay, more further petitions.
We have a list of claims and one subrogated claim.
Counselor Ryan.
Move referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs.
On Counselor Ryan's motion that these claims be moved to Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs under discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion. Okay. On Counselor Ryan's motion, all those in favor? Opposed? All right. Counselor Ryan.
We have 3 drain layer bonds.
Move referred to the Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal Affairs.
On Counselor Ryan's motion that... Sorry?
And return to approved, sorry.
Oh, okay. On Counselor Ryan's motion that these matters be referred to Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and return approved. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay. Unfinished business.
We have second passage of a bond order for the sum of $1,400,000 for the taking by eminent domain 289 Derby Street.
Counselor Giroux.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for second and final passage.
Roll call vote.
By roll call vote, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Under discussion.
Briefly, this was already discussed in our December meeting, and it's just going to finish it up.
Okay. On Counselor Giroux's motion for adoption for second passage by roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
No.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Lovely?
No.
Counselor Giroux?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Famico?
Yes.
Counselor Epley?
Yes.
Counselor Dibble?
Yes.
Counselor Milo?
No. Thank you. On the matter of the second passage of a bond order, 11 councilors voting, 8 in the affirmative, 3 in the negative. The matter passes. Councilor Gerard.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to move for immediate reconsideration in the hopes it does not prevail.
Councilor Gerard moves for immediate reconsideration in the hopes that it will not prevail. All those in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
The matter does not carry. Councilor...
We have second passage of an ordinance amending traffic, Chapter 42, Section 50B, handicap parking, limited time, Mount Vernon Street.
Move adoption for second and final passage, please.
On Council Sergeant's motion for adoption and second final passage, under discussion?
Being none.
No discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? The matter carries. More additional unfinished business.
We have a second passage of an ordinance amending traffic, Chapter 42, Section 50B, handicap parking, limited time, Beckett Street.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for second and final passage.
Councilor McCarthy moves for adoption for second and final passage. Any discussion?
No discussion.
On Councilor McCarthy's motion for second and final passage, all those in favor? Opposed? Councilor Fury.
Upon the privilege, I wish to say congratulations on a well-done meeting. We're in good hands for next year, Madam President, and Cheryl for a busy meeting for the first of the year. And Rochelle, thank you very much for coming in. For Eileen, a great team effort. A motion to adjourn, Madam President.
Thank you. Counselor Fury moves to adjourn. All those in favor? We are adjourned.